doing.
Yeah.
So for part A, you're trying, and really for all of these, you're trying to figure out which two quadrants could you be in for each one. Let me grab this. So for example, cosine is positive in which two quadrants? Do you remember that from last time, how to determine that?
Determine
There's two quadrants where cosine is positive.
it's 2 and 1.
So the letter tells you which one is positive. They're all positive there. That C means C is positive down there. So 1 and 4.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So now tangent is positive in which two quadrants?
Um, Sine is negative and
We're looking at this one right here. Yeah, we're looking at this. We're trying to do it for A.
Oh,
Where's tangent positive here? Are you seeing my screen? Yes, you are. Okay.
tan's positive in quadrant 3 and quadrant 1.
Right. So where's the overlap?
Quadrant 1.
Quadrant 1. Okay, so I'd like you to try this for the second one. See what you come up with. Although, yeah, this will be.
Um, 3 and 4.
The sine is negative in 3 and 4. Cosecant is really which trig function, reciprocal of which trig function.
Sine.
Yeah, so I don't, it's kind of odd that they gave you the same one there, which would also be 3 and 4. Usually they give you, and I think that's a mistake here. They probably meant to give you a different one here, but usually there's only overlap in one. Here it's quadrants 3 and 4.
Okay.
All right, so try letter C, please.
Quadrant 3.
Okay, so cotangent is like tangent, so it's first and third. And then cosine is negative in the second and the third. So yeah, quadrant 3. Very good. All right. Okay, so the you gotta get this down. I think you do have it down. Let me go back and look at your review here. Um, so we did some problems like 14 and 15. Let's do 14's okay. We could do one more of those. I mean, I can make it more difficult, I guess, if that's interesting to you. But you have to figure out which quadrant you're in. So which quadrant does this point lie?
Quadrant 4.
Quadrant 4. So I talked this idea about there's 4 reference triangles. That's quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Kind of looks like a bow tie. You want to draw that and then label the sides 2 and -7. And then you also need to find the third.
Um,
So that's the Pythagorean theorem.
yeah. Root 53.
Yeah. Okay, so from here, and the angle, I didn't write this in, but this is your angle. Do you get a reference sheet for your test or quiz?
No.
Okay, that's disappointing. All right, so we talked about this last time, sine theta, cosine theta, and then tangent theta. And then you've got to also give me cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotangent theta.
-7. Oh wait, I have to simplify it there? Where
You have to
it's
ration.
-7 over
Yeah.
rationalizing?
Well, and you can write it like I would want to see all this because you might use it later, but yes, you need to rationalize it.
So it'd be -7 root 53 over 53.
Yeah.
Um, 2 root 53 over 53.
And then tangent, be careful here because you could make it more complicated than it needs to be.
It's -7 over 2.
-7/2. Good. Okay, keep going here.
Root 53 over, I mean, negative root 53 over 7. And then root 53 over 2. And then -2 over 7.
Very good. Okay, that's a solid test question. Because you may have to do that. Now, the other one here for 15, I'm going to ask it differently. Which of the following are undefined? Okay. So if we look at 15, you'll notice that it's on one of the axes. So 0, -2, where is that? That's down here. This is X, this is Y. So which of the following are undefined? Cosine theta, sine theta, tangent theta, secant theta, cosecant theta, and so on. So it's really the same question. You really need to find, sine, cosine, tangent, all of these, but some of them will be undefined and some of them will be defined.
What would the triangle look like for that one?
There is no triangle. So you have to use the fact that X is really cosine and Y is really sine.
Would tan be undefined?
Yes.
Because -2 over 0.
Yes.
And if the numbers were switched and it was -2 comma 0, which one would be undefined?
Well, there's more. You're missing one. So you really got to go through all of them.
Oh,
But to answer your question, when they're switched, cotangent is undefined as well as one other one.
secant?
It's because secant is a reciprocal of cosine. So to answer your question, let's say it was like 3-0, and we were asked for the same question here. It would be cotangent, cotangent and cosecant.
Okay.
You may be asked to find the other ones though too. Like I just sort of worded this differently to give you a variation on it. Questions, thoughts on that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So 16, we didn't do any of these the other night, but did you get questions like this in class? And when you're trying to like your instructor kind of emphasizes things that they know to be important for you.
Hmm.
So you might think about that. Like, did this question come up? Did they like it? Did they not like it?
I don't remember us discussing this, but I want to cover it like just in case it does show up on like the test.
Sure. So could you give me a rough sketch of what this graph looks like? Meaning like go ahead and graph it and then we'll talk about see what you come up with.
Um,
If it's unclear what I'm asking, let me know. I'll try to rephrase.
it's clear. I'm just like,
Take your time. There's no, we got
how would I solve this? Like,
so one of the things you do is solve for y. That's sort of a hint.
oh yeah, four, three, eight, six.
I don't want this to be overly complicated. Like, do you have what y is in this case? Y equals
Um, I did it like I took each value of y and then I found the corresponding x and then I drew the graph.
okay. So again, like we want to make this overly complicated. It's a line through the origin with a slope of 3/4. So it's up 3, right 4. Um, and the reason I bring that up is we are going to draw a triangle. This line extends forever, but what does this part here mean when x is less than 0? It means we actually only care about the part that's over here on the left here. So it's actually just this part in let me draw it in red here. It's actually just this. Do you have something that looks like that?
I would, oh, because the x values are, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But why would it be -3 and -4?
The we need the we it says the angle is always made with the x-axis. It goes back to this reference triangle stuff because you're in the land of trigonometry, so you're going to draw triangles all the time, but the coterminal side is with the x-axis. You just get in the habit of doing that. Now, why are they negative? It's because to get there, you go left and then down.
Okay.
All right. Could you find the hypotenuse of this triangle?
16. 5.
It's 5. All right. So now you can find the 6 trigonometric function sine theta, cosine theta, tangent theta, cosecant theta, secant theta, cotangent theta, like that.
Sine would be -3/5. Cos would be -4/5. And then tan would be 3/4.
And the other ones are the reciprocals. It's really important that you write them, the reciprocal one next to it and not get them in the wrong place.
Yeah. So then it'd be -5/3, -5/4, and then 4/3.
All right, very good. So I think the only thing that really posed the challenge here is like figuring out what to draw. Um, what's going on here with this. So let's do another one. Let's do let me quickly sketch it in the other screen so that I can make sure I give you the right thing. All right, that's completely wrong. All right, there we go. All right, so let's do another one here. I've made this one's -1x minus 2y equals 0, y less than or equal to 0. So you're trying to figure out which quadrant you're in and which triangle to draw. So it's a lot like the last one. Go ahead and try to set this up, and and then I'll confirm what you got before you do the 6 trigonometric functions.
This would be in the fourth quadrant, right?
It would. So this time the reference angle is up here. Give
Yeah.
me the side lengths, please. What's A and what's B in this case? It's related to the slope.
Would AB 2 and B would be -1?
Yes, very good. All right, so go ahead and find that third side.
One √5. So then,
All right, so go ahead and get these. I'm gonna just step away for 30 seconds. I got a cat that I'd like to
okay.
feed. So, but I'll be right back and you can fill me in on these answers. I'll be right back with you. Okay, let me give you some of the answers here. So sine theta is minus root 5 over 5. Cosine theta is 2 root 5 over 5. Tangent theta is minus 1/2. Cotangent theta is minus 2. Cosecant theta is minus root 5. Secant theta is root 5 over 2. How does that match up
Yeah,
with
that's
what
what
you
I
know?
got.
Excellent. Okay. So with these types of problems, you got to draw the line, figure out where you're, which quadrant you're in. Again, that goes back to this reference bow tie. Make sure you got that down. It's really easy to draw the wrong triangle, especially in like the third and the fourth quadrant, even the second sometimes. So really just pay attention to that. I've talked about this ASTC stuff as well. Okay, let me go back to what you sent over. See what else. So 17 we can look at. We were kind of doing that earlier. Problem with the reason I don't really like a question like this is you could try to memorize something that you should just be able to figure out on the fly. Um, and we look at the unit circle here. 90 degrees is up here. Okay. So out of X and Y, X is cosine, Y is sine, 1 and 0 there. That okay for at 90
Mhm.
degrees at the top there. Okay. So now you tell me which one. So I want you to fill in the rest of this. And some are going to be 0, some are going to be undefined. Yeah, I'll leave it like that.
Tan would be undefined, and then
Which one is undefined? I'm sorry.
tan,
Yes, undefined. Okay, what else? Or what's cotangent?
cotangent 0.
Okay, secant. So if it
Secant
helps,
would
these are related.
undefined,
Yeah. How about cosecant? It's 1 over sine.
one 1/1. So 1.
Yes, good. All right, now minus 360, we haven't talked much about it, but you always, in the unit circle, counterclockwise is positive, clockwise is negative. I don't make the rules, that's just the way it is. Okay, so minus 360 degrees gets you back to this place on the unit circle where X is 1 and Y is 0. So go ahead and fill in the rest of that table based on what you know. Think about.
Um, 0 for tan.
Okay,
Undefined. Oh wait, no. Yeah, undefined for cotangent.
okay,
Secant would be 1, and then cosecant would be undefined.
good. Right. So I want you to tell me where 630 is on the unit circle, whether it's at A, B, C, or D, or somewhere else, please.
It would be on the line between B and C. Oh wait, no, the line between C and D. Because it'd be
So,
270 degrees.
okay, but each time it's 90. Like it's 90, another 90, another 90, another 90.
Oh, so it'd be quadrant 3.
Okay. So I'm looking at 630 as 360 plus 270.
Mm-hmm.
Now 270, like 360 goes all the way around, all the way around. And then 270 means I'm going 90, 180, 270.
Yeah.
So you said between C and D, but it's actually at D.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'd like you to tell me if that's unclear or you want more explanation on that, because I think you're going to get something like this where maybe it's negative angles and like negative 90 just means you're going the other way. It's negative 90, negative 180, negative 270, and so on.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so I want you to fill in this entire table and let me know what you come up with, please.
Sine would be -1, cos would be 0,
Okay.
and tan would be 0.
Okay.
Cotangent would be undefined
So tell me about tangent. How is tangent 0?
because tangent is sine over cos,
So
and
negative,
-1 over 0 is.
and that is undefined. You cannot divide by 0.
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry.
And it should match up with the first one more or less.
Mm-hmm. Just then it'd be 0 undefined and um -1.
Good. So the harder question, um, the harder question here to ask is something like, I'll clear that out, is like, for what angle is the cotangent of theta undefined? And like you'd have to pick a positive and a negative angle. So this is considered the backwards question. Like the easier one is what we were just doing. Like I give you an angle, you find all the ones. Here you got to kind of like work backwards. You're like, okay, what's cotangent? And if it's undefined, that means you're dividing by 0. So where is that one 0?
If tan is 0 and tan's 0
Co-
when
cotangent.
cotangent's undefined when tan is 0.
A cotangent is really 1 over tangent, or better to think of cotangent as cosine theta over sine theta. That helps.
What?
So we're trying to figure out where sine theta is 0. And we need a positive
Yeah,
angle and a negative angle.
it would be negative
I'm asking for the angle, like a number like 90, 360, 180, 270, 540, something like that.
for the cotangent.
It's I'm asking where is cotangent undefined? And it's really I'm really asking now where is sine of theta equal to 0? Because when you divide by 0, it's undefined.
Sine of theta.
Yeah.
It's, um, in the first quadrant.
Okay, so if we're looking at the unit circle again, it's sine the x or the y value.
My.
So I'm really asking where is the y value equal to 0 on the unit circle? And there's two places, there and there. So I'm trying to ask you like what is that angle measure?
In the first quadrant?
No. I guess I'm really struggling here because we just did a problem where we did the reverse of this, like sine of 90 is 1, sine of minus 360 is 0. Like I'm giving you the value in the table now. Like I'm asking you, where is cotangent undefined? And I'm just looking for you to give me the angle.
Oh,
And the
it
thing
would
that I don't
be,
think it and the thing that I don't think is clear is that like what is cotangent? Well, it's cosine over sine. Where is sine 0? Well, you're looking at there's 4 points on the unit circle that are like known values, like 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, negative 1. And the y value, well, where's the y value 0? Well, it's 0 at the first point, and it's 1 over here. So this is, and maybe that's what's the hang up here is that when you start here, and if you go here, that's 90 degrees. And if you keep going, that's 180 degrees. And if you keep going, that's 270 degrees. And if you go all the way around, that's 360 degrees.
okay. So then
So
sine would be 180.
yeah, so like one of the answers here could be 180 degrees. Okay, and that's
Could it
positive
also
because
be 0 degrees?
well, because I'm asking for a positive angle, it can't be 0. 0 is not positive or negative.
Okay. And then, for example, the negative angle would be,
So it's like, how do you get back to this point, going the other direction or back to this point by going all the way around? So some examples would be like negative 180 or negative 360.
oh, okay. But wouldn't negative 180 also work? Or negative 360?
Or a negative angle, sure.
Like, what's the difference between positive angle 180 and negative angle negative 180?
They get you to the same place. So it's
Yeah.
like, and you can think about driving. It's like you can, especially in places where the streets are in grids, but you can either go that way and get there or that way and get there, and you get to the same place.
Hmm.
So the answer is there is no difference. So let's kind of talk about this a little bit more. So let's say you're up here, which is 90 degrees. How do you get there going the other direction? How many degrees negative is it to get there?
270.
Negative 270, yeah. Let's say it's 330 degrees to get there. How do you get there going negative?
Negative 30.
Negative 30, good. Okay. So the answer is you can always get there going the opposite direction. All right, let's look at your review, see what else. And we've got 10 minutes left. Are there some other questions on here you wanted us to go through? I do like a question, kind of like 21, but maybe a little harder. Some other questions that you want us to go through?
Um, we can do something like 21.
Okay. So I'd like to make 21 more difficult, if that's okay with you. But I'll start
Okay.
out with that one. Um, so because it's kind of incomplete. The answer to this problem is just the reciprocal of this number. So that's why I don't like it. So let's just say it wanted you to find all the other ones, and it told you that tangent of theta is greater than 0. Which quadrant are you in? Cosine is negative, tangent is greater than 0.
It would be quadrant 3.
Okay, how do you know that?
Because cosine is negative, which means it can't be 1, but
Okay, it's either
tan
2 or 3.
is positive.
Good, good. Okay, so now
How would we solve the one that says find the value of secant
it's
theta
just
if?
it's just the reciprocal.
Oh yeah.
That's why I don't like it. It doesn't really help. Okay, what are the values of A, B, or C in this triangle?
Um. B. I mean, A would be -7. I mean, A would. Oh wait.
That's fine.
But
It
then.
is negative. I guess it is negative
Oh wait, no,
7.
no, no. It'd be right, and then C would be 12.
Okay. So that means you got to find B. It's not great, but you can do that. Will you calculate B for us, please, using the Pythagorean theorem?
Root 95, which would be factored 2.
I don't think it factors, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
It becomes it's 5 and 19.
Oh yeah, that doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do much, which could happen here. So this is where, again, you might have to do, sine theta, cosine theta, which you already have, tangent theta. You could be expected to find all of these. So that's just something to keep in mind here. You do the ones that are easy, like minus 12 over 7, negative 7 over 12. And then you get fortunately, the more difficult ones. This is square root of 95 over 12. This is 12 root 95 over 95. And actually, this is supposed to be negative because you're going down. Almost missed that. And then tangent theta is root 95 over 7. And this one is 7 root 95 over 95, like that.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll get ones that are, like this, but you should be prepared to find the other sides of the right triangle. You should be able to do all the sine, cosine, and tangent stuff that we've been doing for sure, like that. Just something really easy that we don't want to miss out on is like, did you get comfortable with doing these conversions? Your calculator will help, but it's not great. Like number 7 is plus 119 plus 8 over 60 plus 3 over 3600. Hopefully you saw that in class. Degrees, minutes, and seconds. Do you remember that or not?
Yeah.
All right, now this negative one over here, this one's kind of weird. It's negative 61 degrees, and then you got this 0.5034 that you have to multiply by 60. And the reason
Hmm.
it's 60 is because of this here. And then you don't want to deal with the negative. The negative's already been dealt with. So try to, avoid that catastrophic error in these problems. You'll get a negative one probably on your test. This is 30.204. So it's minus 61 degrees, 30 minutes. And then you take that 0.204 and you multiply it by 60, not 3600, by 60. So just the decimal part. And you end up getting 12 rounded. It's 12 rounded. It ends up being 12.24 by 12 seconds. And I have no idea about this notation. Like, I don't know that anyone ever uses it, but it does come up in this course. So you may see it again. Really quickly,
Okay.
did you guys talk about coterminal angles a little bit?
Coterminal, yeah.
So you just add or subtract 360 until you get one that's positive and negative. So for part A, it's 30 degrees is the positive one, and then negative 330 degrees is the negative one. Here you go. You got to go. You add 360 to get 280 degrees for your positive one, but then you got to subtract 360 to get minus 440 for your negative one. Something like that.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know what to suggest. Maybe just, try a few of these on your own before the test if you have time tomorrow. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it would help me to see a test at some point to get an idea of what kind of stuff you're getting. But I know sometimes they don't show them to you because they're whatever. You can't do anything about that. But it does help me. The more I know what you guys are doing, the more I can help. Unfortunately, I've helped mostly the lower level classes at your school, so I don't have a lot of experience with like a class like yours, knowing what the tests are like. I just don't know. But